Hey, Raiders fans! We're back with the latest insights on our beloved Las Vegas Raiders. And today we're diving into some major developments that have the entire franchise buzzing. There has been no shortage of speculation surrounding Pete Carroll and his future with the team. For months, rumors have swirled that Carroll could be a one-and-done in Las Vegas, with his position feeling more precarious than ever. The intriguing part of this whole situation is that early information suggested Carroll would be staying put after the season. Yet, nobody anticipated the team stumbling to a record of 2-8 at this stage. And suddenly, the front office is grappling with questions about whether this coaching staff can truly lead the Raiders to the level of performance the franchise expects. From what I've gathered, loyalty within the Raiders organization seems to lean heavily toward John Spitek rather than Carroll or his coaching staff. And this dynamic has made the discussion about the head coaching position even more complicated. To put it bluntly, Carroll was actually the third choice for head coach, behind other candidates who were initially more favored. Given the struggles of this team, it wouldn't shock anyone if Pete Carroll's tenure in Las Vegas ends up being just a single season. And frankly, some of us are hoping that is exactly how it plays out. Now, shifting to the defensive side of the conversation, the Raiders have several options to consider if they look to bring in a defensive-minded head coach. One name that stands out is Jesse Minter, currently the defensive coordinator for the Los Angeles Chargers. Minter has been running a unit that has endured countless injuries, yet still managed to give up just over 20 points per game, ranking 7th in the league. At only 42 years old, Minter combines youthful energy with experience, having served as Michigan's defensive coordinator during the 2022 and 2023 seasons. His connection with John Spitek and his experience alongside Tom Brady, including being part of a national championship winning program, makes him a compelling candidate. Stealing a defensive mind from an AFC West rival also adds an extra layer of strategic advantage. And honestly, Minter could provide a level of leadership and innovation that might surpass what Carroll has offered this season. Another defensive candidate to keep an eye on is Brian Flores, who is currently leading the defense for the Minnesota Vikings. Flores is a no-nonsense defensive strategist, known for bringing relentless pressure and a disruptive presence to opposing offenses. While Patrick Graham's defensive philosophy leans toward bend but don't break, Flores is all about breaking the opponent, forcing mistakes, and generating momentum-changing plays. Having previously held head coaching roles and a history with Tom Brady from his Patriots days, Flores has experience at multiple levels of the game, and despite past controversies, his relationship with Brady appears to be solidified, making him a viable option for the Raiders if they want someone aggressive and strategic on defense. Chris Shula, currently with the Los Angeles Rams under Sean McVay, is another standout candidate. Shula's defense has been impressive, allowing just over 17 points per game, ranking 2nd in the NFL. He has extensive experience in both college and professional football, and his background with the McVay coaching tree adds credibility and innovation to his approach. A coach like Shula could easily emerge as one of those names that fans look back on and wonder why they didn't act sooner to bring him in. Jeff Hafley of the Green Bay Packers is another name to consider. Green Bay's defensive success over the past few seasons has been remarkable, particularly in developing players who previously received little attention. Hafley's ability to optimize talent and turn potential into production makes him a candidate worth evaluating, especially if the Raiders are serious about establishing a strong defensive identity. Steve Spagnuolo, currently the defensive coordinator for the Kansas City Chiefs, has also been in the mix. While he brings a wealth of Super Bowl-winning experience as a coordinator, his track record as a head coach is less convincing. However, if the Raiders were to prioritize experience and a proven defensive mind over youthful innovation, Spagnuolo could fit the profile of a hire that Mark Davis might favor, given his historical tendencies to value resume-driven decisions. Switching to offensive possibilities, should Pete Carroll step down or be relieved of his duties, the Raiders have a number of promising candidates to explore. Josh Grizzard, the offensive coordinator for the Bucs, is a name tied to the John Spitek network and has demonstrated solid play-calling abilities. While not necessarily a fan favorite, Grizzard's intelligence, experience in multiple organizations, and exposure to various offensive schemes make him a candidate worth monitoring. Another standout is Clint Kubiak, currently the offensive coordinator for the Seattle Seahawks. Kubiak has a track record of building balanced offenses that emphasize the running game while still effectively integrating the passing attack. His approach has resulted in high-scoring offenses, ranking among the top in the league, and his experience as the son of a Super Bowl-winning head coach brings both pedigree and insight to the Raiders' offensive aspirations. Wes Phillips is another offensive coach whose trajectory is intriguing. Having developed quarterbacks and worked alongside innovative minds in multiple organizations, Phillips represents the type of young, energetic leader who could inject creativity and adaptability into the Raiders' offense. Similarly, Mike McDaniel of the Miami Dolphins has proven his ability to develop dynamic offensive schemes, particularly in the running game, and could provide a blueprint for maximizing the performance of key players like Ashton Gentry. Joe Brady of the Buffalo Bills is also a compelling option. Known for his work with Joe Burrow at LSU and his recent contributions to Buffalo's offensive attack, Brady exemplifies a young, innovative approach that could revitalize the Raiders' passing game. His track record demonstrates that he can adapt to different rosters and bring out the best in quarterbacks, making him a strong candidate for consideration if the Raiders decide to pivot toward an offense-first head coach. Brian Daboll, recently with the New York Giants, offers another perspective, particularly for developing quarterbacks. With prior experience guiding Josh Allen and other young talents, Daboll could provide the mentorship necessary for a new quarterback to succeed in Las Vegas, particularly if the Raiders are planning to draft and develop a quarterback this season. Finally, Mike McCarthy remains a significant figure in the conversation. While he represents a more experienced, established option rather than a young innovator, McCarthy's resume is solid, ranking him among the top 32 coaches in the NFL. Even with past challenges, his strategic approach, adaptability, and ability to manage a roster effectively make him a candidate who cannot be overlooked. The Raiders could leverage his experience alongside a strong front office partnership with John Spitak to maximize the potential of the current roster and any incoming talent. Whether the Raiders prioritize a defensive-minded or offensive-minded head coach, the decisions made in the coming weeks will be crucial for setting the trajectory of the franchise. Fans have plenty of opinions, from wanting someone who can overhaul the defense to those who believe a fresh, innovative offensive approach is the path forward. The team's record this season has intensified these discussions, making the upcoming hiring decision one of the most consequential in recent Raiders history. Now, diving further into the offensive options for the Raiders, another name that comes up repeatedly is Joe Brady, the current offensive coordinator for the Buffalo Bills. Brady has a reputation for developing passing attacks with precision, and while some may remember his rocky tenure with the Carolina Panthers, it's impossible to ignore the success he's achieved with quarterbacks like Joe Burrow in college and his ability to translate that into professional play calling. The Raiders could benefit from a young, innovative mind like Brady's, especially if the franchise wants to modernize its aerial attack and maximize the potential of their quarterback room. His ability to analyze defenses and adapt on the fly would bring a much-needed spark to an offense that has struggled to find consistency under Pete Carroll this season. Meanwhile, looking at another experienced option, Mike McDaniel remains a viable candidate. Known for his time with the Miami Dolphins, McDaniel has consistently proven his ability to construct a dynamic running game while maintaining a balanced passing approach. He is adept at tailoring schemes to the strengths of his players, which is crucial for a team like the Raiders, who have been searching for offensive identity. McDaniel's experience in multiple coaching trees, particularly under Kyle Shanahan, gives him a creative edge that could translate into a more effective and efficient offense. His skill set could particularly elevate running backs and quarterbacks, turning underperforming talent into productive assets on game day. Wes Phillips is another offensive mind whose track record demands attention. Having spent years under respected coaches like Kevin O'Connell, Phillips has learned how to develop quarterbacks and design game plans that optimize player strengths. For a team dealing with a quarterback room that has struggled to deliver, someone like Phillips could be exactly what the Raiders need to breathe life into their offense. His understanding of pro-style systems, combined with the ability to implement modern, creative schemes, makes him a compelling candidate for a franchise that has oscillated between inconsistent play and flashes of brilliance. Clint Kubiak continues to rise as a fan favorite for those prioritizing a ground-and-pound, disciplined approach to offense. Kubiak's philosophy centers on controlling the line of scrimmage, establishing the running game, and using play-action passes to create explosive opportunities downfield. For the Raiders, adopting a Kubiak-style offense would represent a significant shift toward balance and efficiency, with a strategic focus on time of possession and minimizing mistakes. The success he's had in Seattle, particularly his ability to generate scoring opportunities while maintaining offensive discipline, positions him as a candidate who could reshape the Raiders' identity in a fundamental way. Beyond these frontrunners, there are other names quietly circulating that could shake up the landscape. Brian Daboll, for instance, recently parted ways with the New York Giants, but has proven capable of developing young quarterbacks under high-pressure situations. His work with Josh Allen illustrates his ability to maximize talent and tailor systems to individual strengths. If the Raiders plan to draft a quarterback, bringing in someone like Daboll could fast-track the development process and ensure that the next signal caller has the tools to succeed from day one. The conversation doesn't stop at offensive-minded coaches. Defensive leadership is equally vital for the Raiders if they intend to stabilize the team from the back end. Jesse Minter, Brian Flores, Chris Shula, Jeff Hafley, and even Steve Spagnuolo offer distinct philosophies and experiences that could reinvigorate a defense that has struggled to consistently perform. Each brings a different style. Minter with disciplined, adaptable schemes, Flores with aggressive, disruptive tactics, Shula with innovative approaches from the McVay coaching tree, Hafley with a talent development emphasis, and Spagnuolo with championship-caliber experience. The choice between these defensive minds will largely depend on whether the Raiders want to double down on defensive continuity or pursue a dramatic overhaul. Fan opinions are already pouring in, and the debate is heated. Some want a bold, young, offensive coach who can innovate and energize the roster, while others prioritize defensive stability and a return to disciplined fundamentals. Pete Carroll's struggles this season have amplified these discussions, and the reality is that the next head coach will need to balance strategic vision with leadership skills capable of managing a diverse roster. The Raiders' front office, loyal to John Spiteka's long-term vision, must weigh immediate performance against building a sustainable team identity. It's not just about wins and losses in one season. It's about setting a foundation that could define the franchise for years to come. There's also the strategic angle of leveraging coaching connections and experience. Coaches like Kubiak and McDaniel bring ties to established networks and successful systems, which could accelerate the Raiders' rebuild. Defensive candidates like Minter and Shula offer the ability to take proven systems and adapt them to a roster with unique strengths and weaknesses. The interplay between offensive and defensive priorities, player development, and roster management creates a complex matrix of factors that the Raiders must consider. Every decision carries the potential to redefine the trajectory of the team, whether through innovative play calling, enhanced defensive discipline, or the development of young talent into future stars. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on our Las Vegas Raiders. And don't be shy. Drop your thoughts on the news in the comments below. Word is spreading fast across league circles, and the whispers are only getting louder. Garrett Wilson, the playmaker once seen as the long-term face of the New York Jets offense, may be preparing for a stunning leap into the neon glow of Las Vegas. According to people close to the situation, none willing to go fully on record, Wilson has been increasingly intrigued by the idea of becoming the centerpiece of the Raiders' evolving aerial attack. And those same murmurs suggest the silver and black are more than ready to roll out the kind of offensive red carpet that could turn the wideout into a full-scale desert superstar. Rumblings started when Wilson was spotted chatting at length with figures connected to the Raiders organization during off-season events, brushing off the interaction as just football talk. But sources insist the conversations went far deeper, hinting at shared visions of a high-octane scheme built around Wilson's explosiveness, his improvisational flair, and his ability to turn routine throws into highlight reel chaos. In a city built on spectacle, the idea of pairing a rising star receiver with an offense hungry for identity has created a perfect storm of speculation. Meanwhile, in New York, the silence has been deafening. Team representatives remain tight-lipped, and insiders say the front office is growing increasingly anxious about Wilson's long-term commitment. Some describe him as restless, others as ambitious, and a few insist he simply wants a stage large enough to match his ceiling. And what stage is larger, both literally and theatrically, than the one glowing under the Las Vegas lights? Raiders fans, never shy about embracing bold narratives, have already started imagining Wilson streaking across the field in silver and black, turning deep balls into the kind of moments that live forever on highlight loops. Whether this is just off-season smoke or the early spark of something far more dramatic, the rumor mill shows no signs of slowing. What is certain is that Garrett Wilson's name has become the hottest echo bouncing across both coasts, and the idea of him headlining an aerial show in Las Vegas has captivated the entire football world. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Las Vegas Raiders, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.